but it fits with his lecture. So he left. You know, he's starving. And he goes to Bodh Gaya. I hope all of you get a chance to go there someday in India. It's really weird. It's in the most backward part of India there is. But it's special because Buddhism, which has died out in India, everyone goes there because that's where the tree is, where the Buddha reached enlightenment. After many years of not finding the answer and practicing hard and starving himself, he said, I'm going to sit under this tree and I'm not going to move until I find out what I call the meaning of life. Right? And according to legend, he discovered.
Now, in Theravada Buddhism, most of the statues of Buddha reflect that instant of achieving enlightenment, right?
In the Lahore Museum, they have a very aesthetic, very art historical picture of the Buddha when he's skin and bones, right? Reflecting that period where he was at the extreme level of asceticism.
But there's sort of iconography in the statues of Buddha where, you know, his hands are down and things like that you see repeated over and over. Do you see that in these Chinese temples where the Buddha renounces and, you know, these sorts of...
No offense, but that's why I brought you here.
Okay.
Because I think speaking about Buddhism without context is meaningless. You need to see. It's not pure philosophy, right? Because, you know, these people, they want a male child. And they'll pray to Guan Yin, all right? Not the Buddha himself. So they'll get a male child. Of course, in China, you're supposed to only have one in urban areas and among the Han majority. But no offense, Chinway told me to make this short.
No, go ahead. No, that's fine.
But I hope you enjoy the conversation. So, he crossed the river. He cut his hair. And unsatisfied, off he went to Bodh Gaya, sit under the tree. Now, this is directly related, I don't need this much. He directly related to Hinduism. When you get too good, when your renunciation, your practices of asceticism are so good, it actually heats up the seat of the gods, and they're not happy, because you might actually replace them, right? So they test it. So, hence comes Mara, M-A-R-A. You got one guy on one shoulder and one guy on the other shoulder, right? One's telling you to do the right thing, one's telling you to, do what you probably want to do anyway. Anyway, Mara is the bad one. So he tempts them under the influence of the gods. They don't want to be displaced because they're God. Ted Turner, you can name him, I'm sorry. Had to quit. So they torment him. They send him beautiful women, wine, song, all these nice things. But he's firm in his conviction that he's going to learn the true nature of the world. If any of you can tell me that, I would be greatly appreciative. Then that doesn't work, so they send him arrows and weapons and demons, and you will see this in the places you will go today, right? And eventually, in a rather ecological sense, he touches the ground like this because he's having a hard time, right, to gain support from the earth. The earth gives him support, and all of a sudden, he is, quote, enlightened, right? He understands what it's all about. Chinwei wants me to make this short. Usually I go on the history and split of Buddhism. In brief, there are two, now three forms of Buddhism, Theravada, Mahayana, and now, because of the interest in Tibetan Buddhism, Vajrayana, the Diamantine path. If you know what that means, I'm impressed. The diamond path, right? Tantra, right? Now they recognize they didn't, like these German scholars who studied this stuff at the beginning, didn't like all these copulating deities, you know, and all this, you know, sort of stuff. I'm tired too.
Oh, sorry.
Yawning is not good.
I took a Benadryl.
Okay. Anyway, pardon me. Alright, so I'm gonna, well, Shinzai. Well, wow.
So if you have questions, you ask him.
Yes. You need time to walk up the mountain and see things. Usually I go into the history of the spread of Buddhism, how it went to China in particular, where it encountered big problems. The idea of sending your son, right? Of course, you know, sons are very important in China, India, right? To a monastery. It's almost inconceivable. They managed to fit it in, right? Buddhism went through considerable changes when it encountered the Chinese culture. And that's what you're going to see today. Although when you go up, you're going to see Taoism, you know, which is a whole different lecture, which I'm not going to give you. I welcome you all here. I like giving my lecture here because, look at it, beautiful, huh? You know, it's a nice place. I really think Buddhism has something to offer to the world, right? You can be Christian, you can be Muslim, you can be whatever you want, but Buddhism doesn't define itself in that way, right? Although they're not afraid of conversion, right? And I by no means will attempt anything like that. So, now Chinwei needs to give you Nikai Gaitaman Arshifenjo? Tamio Kankan J. Huh. Yeah, and, you know, the Chinese aren't looking for 12 digits. But now I would really appreciate questions.
Okay. 11.
Okay.
All right, 20 minutes.